They banned us from playing in certain areas.
So actually, of course, that meant they went after your mother, didn't they?
Yeah. And I can remember my mother pleading with them, saying, my children want to do this. This is what they're born to do, and, you know, they're getting a good education. But I can remember her in tears in a public phone box, you know, arguing with these people, and there was no getting around it. So we settled in Parkes. When
you finally left school at 15,
yeah,
you went to Angus and Coote.
I did.
Worked as a messenger boy.
I did, yes.
So this is the big smoke. This is in Sydney.
Yeah. Well, I moved away from Parkes, and I got the job like that. And that afternoon I went to meet with Lionel Long, who was doing Homicide at the time, and I auditioned for him, and I got that job as well. So I'd work with Lionel on the weekends as his guitar player and musical director kind of thing, and I worked as a messenger boy for Angus and Coote.
And just as all this is happening, your career is about to take off, so let's take a look at that.
Okay. I played in a lot of bands, and I really learned so much. From there I went on to work with John Farnham. We formed a band, and that was his first kind of break in 1980.
If you were white, you had a chance.
I joined the Bushwhackers, and you know, 6 of us riding around in a little Mitsubishi van, just playing dance music and making people happy. It was a great time in my life.
Girl, you're every woman in the world to me.
I recorded guitar and bass on quite a few of the tracks on Air Supply's first album, Lost in Love. I got that job because I was known in those days as One Take Tom. You know, I could hear a song and go, okay, let's go, press the red button, and I could get it first time. So some people call me Fluke Skywalker. I toured with Dragon in '84. They were already playing to thousands of people around the country. They were a big rock act, right? I think it was about 85, 86, around that time. I would then do my own shows and play places around Sydney. And I built a following like that. And then in '87, I recorded an album called Up From Down Under. I also did a couple of demos of Lady Madonna, the Beatles song, and I sent that music over to the record company in America, and next thing the album came out. All my demos are on that first album. Up From Down Under debuted in the top 10, and that had never happened to an instrumentalist ever. And so it was an amazing time. I think the big temptation for me was when I started making money. You have to understand that I'm a type of person, when I do something, I do it 1,000,000%. When I play the guitar, I pour everything I can into it. When I used to take drugs, I took them 1,000,000%. I went way past anybody, and that's just the way I was. It was a period of struggle. It destroys lives, it destroys relationships, and it doesn't get you anywhere. It's hard to say why you did it. It's almost impossible.
It's one of the odd things about cocaine that it goes sometimes parallel with apparent success, and that's what was happening.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of people destroying themselves once they get money and success. They destroy themselves, you know.
Tell us a little about the slippery slope. How did you get hooked in the first place?
It started out as a very harmless thing. I used to get together with a couple of guys. We'd drink a few beers and have a little bit and play cards, and it was like recreation, you know, because we worked so hard at other things.
The lifestyle itself's intoxicating, isn't it? Being on the road, I mean, you're having these great successes with, in those days, Dragon, Air Supply and the like.
Right, exactly. You know, I was living in big hotels and earning big money, and so, you know, a boy from the bush in that situation, I think, lets his head go, you know.
But it's also a lifestyle that it's all you've known in a way since you've been 6 years of age.
Well, you know, that might have something to do with it, because I never really had a normal life. All I've ever known all my life, up until this very minute between you and I, is work.
It was in that time period, the mid-'80s, that you finally realise your ambition to go solo, you come up with Up From Down Under.
Up From Down Under, yeah.
That was a really important break for you, wasn't it?
EMI put the album out, and it coincided with a tour.